David, great to see you. Welcome to Popternative.
Thank you, Petey. It's good to be here.
It's 3 seasons now of playing Jade, and I love this character. I also love this character because I love him, and then he drives me nuts at the same time, right? So it's just like, I can't even imagine how much fun it is playing this character. Do you feel like you understand this character after 3 years, or are you still learning about him?
I do. I feel like I understand him, but yeah, again, we don't know what's coming until we get that script in front of us. And if history has taught me anything about playing Jade, is that when you think he's a certain way, all of a sudden things can change, and we find out something else about him.
One thing I really love about this season is you're seeing a lot of kind of characters being like, okay, I need to get out of here. And there's a lot of physical kind of scenes, right? There's a lot of hiking scenes, figuring it out. What's that like for you from an acting perspective, balancing those physical scenes, but also the emotional, mental scenes specifically? I'm curious about that.
I love being outdoors, except when I'm wearing 3 pairs of socks and I still can't feel my feet because it's so cold. It was insane. We were filming outside of Halifax in the winter, and it was so cold. But it's like, you know, I'm sure you've experienced this, giving a speech in front of people when you really have to pee. It gives it a sense of urgency, and it makes you feel more alive than, you know. So yeah, definitely the physicality helps with playing it. It brings it physiologically, it like works the other way, so that it doesn't feel like you're acting. You're just you are in the moment, be doing what you're supposed to do. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff outdoors this season,
Oh yeah, a
actually.
lot. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's it like season after season, David, getting a script and then seeing it come to life, so to speak, like that script to screen journey for you? Does it, as it changed? Is it similar? There's a lot going on every season with Jade. This is very interesting. We're seeing sides of him, and he's going through things we haven't seen him do in season 1 and 2, right? He's seeing a lot of things and everything. What's that like, reading it and then seeing it come to life on screen for you?
Man, it's so hard to be objective about that, because like we film it, and then we spend like 5.5, 6 months filming it, and then a couple months go by, and then all of a sudden we get, oh, it's going to be released. Let's watch it. And enough time has gone by that I can sit down and I can watch it like totally objectively. I'm watching the show. I'm not usually on set when other scenes are being filmed
Yeah.
that don't have Jade in. So I get to see them like for the first time, like an audience member, and it's great. Like I forget that I'm watching a show that I'm in. I feel like I'm just watching it like like I'm binging a show that I love to watch, which is great about
It's
it.
one of
Like not
it's one of my favorite shows on television. You might be biased by saying that because you're in it, but
yeah.
I'm not. It's one of the best
I
shows
might
on
be
television.
biased because I'm contractually obligated to say it, but no, just kidding. I'm
Well,
not
I'm not,
actually.
and
I'm
I'm
not
saying it's one of the
contractually
best
obligated.
shows on television.
Thank you, Petey. I appreciate that. And I
Um,
appreciate you like spreading the word and getting it out there and getting people to watch the show. It really, really helps. So
oh,
thank you.
absolutely. So much happens before you go to camera on a season of From, right? You're having all those discussions, you're reading the scripts, you're seeing what Jade's going to be kind of dealing with. You're talking to the directors, writers, other
He
cast.
says, who? They don't tell us anything. Where are you getting your information, man?
Well, at
Are you
some
kidding?
point maybe on the day of, like right before you go film, you get kind of filled in right away. But
Yeah.
it's like, there's that before filming and after filming like journey, right? From a storytelling acting perspective, do you see it as two journeys, before filming From and after filming From? Or does it feel like one big journey with multiple steps in between?
So we typically get 1 or 2 episodes at the same time,
Mhm.
because we block shoot. So and this came up during COVID as like a really innovative way to solve for lockdown in Nova Scotia. So we'd have to come to Nova Scotia and then sit in a room for 2 weeks under quarantine before we could go into the city and do things. So it became a convenient way to shoot 2 episodes at the same time with the same director, so that we don't have to get a different director for each episode, because that would have made it really complicated and time consuming.
Yeah.
And so we would get 2 episodes at a time. So our entire world is what's happening right now in these 2 episodes. What's
Mhm.
happening right now? We have no idea what comes next. The writers don't share that information because it's really important for them to keep us in the present when we're filming it.
Yeah.
Um, so so in that sense, like we get it. This season we've been doing more cast read-throughs before we shoot the episodes. That's always really exciting because it's the first time, like, you can be at home reading an episode, but it's not the same as hearing all the words coming from the different actors and feeling that energy in the room. And we're our first audience in that way. We get to see it and hear it and test it out, and then we go out and then we film it. In terms of a before and an after, they add so many elements with music, which is a character on the show. I think music is a character on our show. It's not just a texture, but it's a character. Like, you feel like it has agency.
Like the bus too. The bus is a character too, 100%.
The bus is a character on the show, absolutely. And all these little elements aren't necessarily obvious when you're reading the script. It's what the director decided to shoot. It's how they decided to shoot it. It's how much screen time somebody gets. Are they on film when someone else is talking? Why is this person on film? Because we're listening to how they're reacting to that person talk. Like, all these choices are not obvious on the page. It's only later when we're sitting and watching it that we go, oh, that's really interesting.
Absolutely.
So there's definitely a before and an after.
Yeah. No,
I'm
absolutely.
loving the after. Like, I love how the episodes have come together this year. And I can't put my finger on why, because I'm not a director. I can't tell, but I feel like this is the best season so far.
I agree. And episodes are rolling out on MGM Plus for season 3 of From. David, so great chatting with you, man. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, the pleasure was mine, Pete. Take care.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.